Hi, Gold Creek. My name is
Hello.
Jeremy. This is Amanda.
Amanda.
She loves to interrupt me during these. That's great, though.
Yeah.
It's lively. It's fun.
hmm
Anyway, I figured I brought some stuff that might look a little funny. I like to read my Bible while I'm brewing my coffee in the morning, so I brought some of my coffee set up, and we're gonna enjoy some coffee. And because Amanda's leaving very soon,
So sad. I know.
at the end of June, right?
Yeah.
And it's almost end of May already,
Yeah.
so
It's coming close.
very soon. I figured I'd give her a Seattle farewell, and we'd share some coffee.
It is the perfect.
So why don't you get
goodbye.
started while I start brewing?
Well, yeah. I just think the most interesting part of today's reading was the part where Saul goes and sees a medium right after Samuel dies, and he outlaws any mediums.
Drop my phone.
So in 1 Samuel 28:8, it says, "So Saul disguised himself and put on other garments and went. He and two men with him, and they came to the woman by night. And he said, 'Divine for me by a spirit, and bring up for me whomever I shall name to you.'" So yeah, he just scares the medium, and she's like, "What the heck? You're trying to get me in trouble right now."
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And she doesn't realize that he is Saul, who had just previously exiled her and all of her friends.
Exactly. So she was kind of like, well, if I do this, you can't get me in trouble type of thing.
Mhm.
But then he's like,
But I want to talk to Samuel.
yeah. And so eventually she's going to see Samuel, and she finds out oh no, you've betrayed me basically.
I always love kind of picking apart verses like this, because there's so much irony that the Bible just kind of is just tosses it at you and doesn't pause to be like, isn't it kind of funny? But it's kind of funny. He's one day he's like, all right, we're getting rid of all the mediums and necromancers. They're gone. Exile them, get rid of them.
Right.
And then a handful of days later, he's like, gosh, I really want to talk to Samuel. Let's go find a medium.
Yeah. He couldn't follow his own rules.
And then has to disguise himself so that people don't realize that he is, the one who exiled them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This coffee's looking really
It
good.
is
Isn't it?
smelling good.
I wish you guys could smell it too.
Mhm.
Anyway, it's just a funny little section that really stuck out to me because it never stuck out to me before.
Yeah.
I never really noticed it, but
I feel like definitely when you're reading these, long chunks of the Bible and stuff, you kind of, just kind of start reading and getting bored. And then
Mhm.
something like this pops up, and it really caught my attention at least.
it's like, whoa.
Yeah, this is a cool story.
Why is he hanging out with a medium when there's multiple places where they talk about mediums and necromancers being no good?
Right? Yeah.
Anyway, in John, we get to tell the story of Lazarus.
Mhm.
Isn't that that's such a
That's
great story
another
to get to tell.
crazy story, I think, just on top of the medium
Right?
one.
We already got one crazy story, now we get another.
Oh, yeah.
And we also get the shortest verse in the Bible,
hmm
which is John 11:35. It says, Jesus wept.
Jesus wept. Yes.
And it's so powerful because in those two words, it shows Jesus' humanity.
Mhm.
It shows that he had true human emotions. He cared for Lazarus. He was friends with him.
Right.
And when he passed away and he saw him dead, he wept. He cried over it.
He still felt that pain.
He felt the pain of a man who he knew would be coming back, but he still saw him dead and felt that
Mhm.
pain.
Yeah, and everybody else around him is able to see that too. Everybody else was in mourning around him,
Mhm.
and yeah, he wasn't the only one. So.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then a little bit later, he goes up to the tomb and he cries out with a loud voice, Lazarus, come out. So, because it's a loud voice, I need you to yell it.
Yo, come.
Lazarus, come out. I want us to experience it.
So
kind of the
I'm
way it
embodying
happened.
Jesus right
Yeah,
now, basically.
Just a little bit.
Okay.
So imagine one of your friends is dead and you're waking him from death.
Okay.
You might want to lean back a little so you don't
Yeah,
mess with the mic, but
Rip
Go
headphone
for it.
users.
give us the Jesus yell.
Lazarus, come out.
You can get through it.
That's my best impression. That's what I got for you.
Yeah, I mean, it says he cried with a loud, he was yelling it like that, right?
Yeah.
He was like, "Come on, man, wake up!"
Yeah.
It kind of makes me imagine when you're running late in the morning and you've slept through your alarm and someone's like, come on, wake up.
Oh my god.
They're like pushing you, they're yelling at you. That's basically
times 10 because
like
he
how
was
Jesus
actually dead.
Yeah. And then surprise, he's not dead.
Mm-hmm. Which,
Man,
yeah.
it's so cool
Mm-hmm.
that, Jesus can yell and people come back to life.
Yeah. And it said like
The
instantly
dead
the
are
people
raised.
that saw that, just instantly believed in Jesus.
I mean, how could you not?
Yeah.
If you watched a dead man come out of that grave.
Yeah, witnessed like worship music
Just a
reference.
little song reference.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, how could you not believe when you see something that amazing happen?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna pause for just a moment. Not actually pause, but
This
the coffee
yeah,
is
don't actually
ready.
pause.
So we're gonna pour some out. If you're making your coffee with us, it's time to pour your coffee out. Hopefully you've been
Or tea. I'm a tea person usually.
Yeah, but today you're a coffee person.
Today I will be a coffee.
The classic Seattle farewell.
Oh yes.
There you go.
Thank
Enjoy.
you.
These beans are from Honduras and they are
Cheers.
excellent. Ooh, that's the good stuff.
That's delicious.
You don't have to pretend. I know you're
I'm
not
not
a coffee
pretending. That actually is really good.
Yes. Anyway, onto the Psalm 117. It's pretty short. It says, "For great is his steadfast love toward us, and the faithfulness of the Lord endures forever. Praise the Lord."
Mm-hmm.
Which there's actually a song that I really love that's based on this psalm. It's called "Promises" by Maverick City Music.
Oh,
We were talking about it earlier
yeah,
today.
we were. Great song.
And it's just such a wonderful song, and it's just based off of this tiny little section of the psalm of great is his love, his faithfulness, his everything towards us.
Yeah, he's always faithful for us.
Always faithful, always loving, always carries out what he says he's gonna do.
Yeah.
And I love listening to that song because it's just it's simple and it's such a great reminder of how much God really loves us and cares about us and really what he'll do for us.
Like the title speaks for itself. Like his promises like are forever. Like
Yeah. And the proverb is also pretty short and simple. It says, "Without counsel, plans fail, but with many advisors, they succeed." I mean, take advice from people, right?
Yeah.
Have advisors. Don't do things on your own, because we get caught up in our own thoughts and our own agenda, and it messes with us a bit, and
Right.
it shrouds our perception of what's going on. But when we have people giving us advice, advising us, helping us with our plans, it helps to kind of clear the pathway to open up our perceptions to see the bigger picture of things.
Yeah, it's another segue into like the culture today and like how there's so many influences coming at us. And so it's important to surround yourself with, like-minded people that are going to point you in a good direction.
Yeah. And advice is great. I mean,
Yeah.
I seek out advice from people frequently when I'm, not doing well or when I am doing well.
Right.
I'm constantly seeking advice of how I can do things better, how I can love people better, how I can be a better person. And without that advice, I could get caught in my own ways, caught in whatever I'm thinking or believing at the time, and end up not bettering myself in ways that would be very helpful for me in the future.
Right. So definitely a short and powerful verse.
Keep an eye out for people to advise you and to give you good advice to help you when you need it, because it's an important part of life.
For sure.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
I hope you have a great day. Day 140, May 20th.
Yeah.
I don't think we said that in the beginning, but you guys know what day it is, right?
Congrats on day 140.
Yeah, we're making it far. We'll see you next time.